Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever video. My name is Harvey and I am a AAT qualified accountant and I am currently studying ACCA. So just a bit about this channel. This is going to be my first video, as I said, and I'm going to be doing overviews of different accountancy qualifications and maybe some revision sessions, as well as some other different things if I want to. So this first video is an AAT Level 2 overview, so I'm going to go over the different topics of AAT and what you will need to revise for the qualification and where you can go on afterwards. So starting off the AAT syllabus, so in Level 2 there are 5 different exams that you have to take. And that's covering 6 different topics. So there is bookkeeping transactions, bookkeeping controls, elements of costing using accounting software, and all of them will be in 4 separate exams, and working effectively in finance and the foundation synoptic assessment, which are linked together in the form of one exam, which is the foundation synoptic. So now let's just go over the qualification equivalents. So AAT Level 2 is equivalent to GCSE passes, so it allows you to go on to study AAT Level 3 and gives you a basic overview of finance, and it's just a good qualification if you're coming straight from doing your GCSEs, so you can get a understanding of finance, and if you want to start a career in finance, it's also a good option to do if you haven't already done A-levels. So if we're looking at grading, you will be marked separately for each exam, and you need to pass each exam in order to get a grade, and your total grade is the average of all exams, and it's a weighted average, and the weighting can be viewed on the AAT website. So under 70% is a fail, 70 to 80% is a pass. That's including 70%, but up to 79% basically, and from 80% to 90% is a merit, and anything over 90% is a distinction. Now my AAT tutor has told us that this actually isn't that important what grade you get. It does look better on your CV, but as long as you have the qualification, that's the main thing that a employer looks for. But an example where a distinction would be useful would be in, say you was going for a job with another person and they had the same qualifications as you, but you had a distinction and they had a pass, then you would be more likely to get the job. So the first topic is bookkeeping transactions, and that has 5 different topics within it. That is understanding financial transactions within a bookkeeping system, processing customer and supplier transactions, processing receipts and payments, and processing transactions through the ledgers to the trial balance. So that's different things that you will cover with your tutor, and processing through the ledgers. So there's a purchase ledger and a sales ledger, and that's basically where customers and suppliers pay on credit. And that exam is a 1 hour 30 exam, and it is computer based. So that means that you will take the exam on the computer and it will be marked by the computer, and according to AAT you will have your exam results within 24 hours. However, I usually have my exam results within about 20 minutes of completing the exam, so that's quite useful, and you'll know your results straight away. So if you need to retake it, you can retake it, or if you pass, then you can go on to the next exam. Speaking of the next exam, that is bookkeeper controls. So there are 5 different things you have to know. That is understanding the payment methods, understanding controls in a bookkeeping system and using the control accounts as well as the journal, and then you will also learn how to reconcile the bank statement with the cash book. So the reconciliation is another thing that you will also do in using accounting software, so it's quite an important part to remember and to make sure you know well. And again, this is a 1 hour 30-minute exam, which is also computer based, so the computer will mark it and you should have your result within 20 minutes. Elements of costing is the next exam, and this is management accounting, so it's a bit different from the first two topics as they are financial accounting. So within elements of costing there are three different things that you cover: the understanding the cost recording system within an organisation, use cost recording techniques, and provide information on actual and budgeted costs and income. So there's different cost recording techniques. You have three main ones, that is FIFO, LIFO and AVCO, first in first out, last in first out, and the average. You will cover them with your tutor. They are very key parts to remember, and they will be tested in the Elements of Costing exam and the Synoptic exam. The Elements of Costing exam is a 1 hour 30-minute exam again, and it is computer marked. And then this is a slightly different form of exam. This is using accounting software. Usually you use Sage. That's what I used as well. So you learn how to use this accounting software. It's widely used across many different businesses. This exam has 5 different things to do. You set up accounting software, process sales and purchases, bank and cash transactions, and perform routine period end tasks. And then you have to produce reports at the end. So this uses the knowledge that you've learnt from bookkeeping transactions, bookkeeping controls, as well as elements of costing, and you need to combine all of them skills together and use it within accounting software. Now this exam is probably one of the easiest ones in my opinion, and is quite quick to learn if you've used a computer before. Yeah, this is a 2-hour exam, and the difference is it's human marked, so it takes about 5 weeks to get your mark back. So this one's a bit more difficult to know your results, and it's difficult to know whether you're going to have to retake an exam or not. So just make sure you revise through it thoroughly and you should be fine. And then there is working effectively in finance. These are just different things about working in a finance function. So the different things AAT expect of you, what your employer will expect of you, and the responsibilities you have of an accountant. Now this doesn't have an exam itself. It is within the synoptic assessment, so you'll be assessed on it there. Now going on to the synoptic assessment, it is a 2-hour exam which is partly marked by human and partly marked by the computer. So this combines all of your knowledge from all of the topics apart from using accounting software. So it has different weightings as well for the different things that you'll learn. So the working effectively in finance is the AO4, which is 18% of the grade. And that does include a written question. So you will have to write about something, and that's the part which is human marked. So overall this qualification is a good qualification. It gives you a basic understanding in finance, and it gives you 2 different routes that you can go down if you decide you like accounting. You can go on to study AAT level 3, and I will go over AAT level 3 in another video, or you can go on to do an entry level job. Examples of these are accounts administrator, accounts assistants, accounts clerk, a trainee accounting technician, or trainee finance assistant. Now there are some companies which will allow you to do go straight into trainee accountant, but it's hard to get when you just have AAT level 2, and in my opinion you should definitely go on to study AAT level 3. Whether you do that with or without a job, it's a good qualification. So that is the end of today's video. I hope you learned something from it, and I hope that this helps you decide whether to study AAT level 2. I will be doing an AAT level 3 video as well as an AAT level 4, and I will shortly be doing a CCA, but I don't know when I will be doing that, so I will keep you all updated. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a nice rest of your day. Thank you for watching.